Grand Rising. I had a comment on the video I did this morning with the Muslim dude, and I'm gonna play a little bit of it. I'll read a little bit of it, but you can kind of check it out right here. Some dude named Tyrone Davis, 7656. I follow and like all your videos, but I also follow and like all of that dude's videos. He drops bombs. He tells the truth about America and the rest of the Western world that you won't hear about anywhere else. Oh, so we haven't been dropping bombs for years? We haven't been telling about the truth about America anywhere, so you couldn't get it anywhere else, right? Because you got to get someone else that looks like a white dude, and you'll believe that, even though black people have been saying that this place ain't shit for centuries. But not until this guy says something, now he's the only person that's been dropping bombs, right? Okay. Fast forward, every person on planet Earth is not purposely skipping mentioning us being the true people. Yes, they are. They're all skipping it, because when we talk about reparations and restoration, does anyone say, hey, let's restore these people? Yeah, they've never gotten anything. Yeah, we need to make sure we make things right with them. No, they're all on code with you ain't getting anything. You're not getting anything. So yes, they all know not to talk about Deuteronomy 28. They all know not to talk about how the so-called black people were the original people here. Everyone, I know it's hard to believe, but everyone is on code. So every person on planet Earth is not purposely skipping mentioning us being the true people. That dude's a Muslim. He's not purposely not talking about who the true people are. Yes, he is, because he keeps talking about Ish, and they all know that Ish are not the people. So why don't they take the next step? Why does everyone stop with Ish is not the people? How come no one goes, well then, who are the people? Who fits the curses? Who fits the people of the book? 99% of them stop with, well, Ish isn't the people. That means they're all on code. None of them say, hey, let's look at the Bible. Let's look at what was supposed to happen to the Israelites, and let's figure out who the Israelites are. So see, that just shows you right there that they're all on code. All these churches are not allowed to talk about that subject. So he says again, because that's not what his video is about. Okay, you think billions of households around the world sit down with their families, pass down who the true people are, and make every single person swear an oath of secrecy. When you get that white Jesus, when you go to church, that is your secrecy. That they don't have to say it. It's a given. Everybody, when you start talking about Jesus being white, they all say, "Oh, we all know he's not white." Oh, well, then if you all know he's not white, then why do you keep going to the white churches? Why do you keep on praying to white Jesus? How come 99% of the Jesuses are white? How come everything you see, every show pretty much you see, they show him as white, but then they're quick to say, "Well, we know that he's not white." Then why are you not questioning that? Because you're all on code. That is why. How come priests are raping little boys and no one says anything? Because they're all on code. Now he says, you think billions of households around the world sit down with their families, pass down who the true people are, and make every single person swear an oath of secrecy? As smart as you are, that's delusional. Okay, if you say so, buddy. How can you think the average person in the world is trying to hide the truth about the true people? Because they know that we don't share power. When they're on top, we're at the bottom. The only way they can be on top is by us to continue to not know who we are, thought that we were African American, and stay at the bottom. That's how it works. So as soon as we start to get knowledge and understanding, then we are going to be raised back to the top. We will be the head, and then they will all be the tail. They all know this. Apparently you don't know this. So that is why they don't say anything. Even now, they don't say anything. Now he says, how can you think the average person in the world is trying to hide the truth about the true people when the majority of us are just now finding out and waking up? I ain't even know until something hit me like a year ago. That's your problem. Why? Because it hit you a year ago doesn't mean it didn't hit other people. The other nations never forgot who we are. Just because you just woke up a year ago doesn't mean that the other people didn't know. They did know. They never stopped knowing. That is why they've all been working together to keep us at the bottom. That's why they've all been working together to keep us from not knowing. It's not about 99% not knowing. They know. It's about the 1% of us, 2% of us that wake up at the end, that stand up in great boldness now and proclaim the truth. That is why they don't say anything anymore. That is why they are quiet, because they've been caught red-handed. We know that they've all been working together. If it was true, then how come you don't see so many more people like saying, oh, I didn't know that you guys were the people. You guys are the people. I want to support you. I want to be with you. How many people you see doing that? If they didn't know already. If they didn't know already, then they should be able to come and tell us the truth, right? How come they're not doing that? Because they've been caught knowing who we are and being quiet so they can receive the dainties. Use your brain. Think about it. If you just found out, man, I thought when I came into the truth that everyone would be happy to know the truth. Come to find out, the vast majority of the world doesn't care because they already knew the truth, and they gave up their opportunity to come on this side because they made a covenant with Satan. If I knew I could just start to support the Israelites now and I could be saved and I can cleave to them and everything else, why wouldn't I do that? I would do that in a heartbeat. But you don't see many people doing that, do you? Why is that? Because they already know. They already knew. And they knew that when we awaken, that's it for them. So he says, but you think the average person walking around knows or even cares who the true Israelites are? Yeah, they care. Trust me, that's why they've been watching us all the time. That's why they're over here now watching, because they know that as we rise, that's their fall. That's what they already know. He put that's logical, but I think he means that's illogical. They don't care enough to keep a secret. Keep the knowledge coming anyway, though, bro. One love. They do. That's why they've been keeping secrets, because they didn't want anyone. They didn't want us to awaken. Have you not seen the downfall after 2019? Because we came to the end, 1619, 2019. Everything's gone to hell in a handbasket. Why? Because we awakened. We finished dealing with our Jacob's trouble. That's what's been going on. That's why things are going downhill for them now. So this is why they are scared, and this is why, they are quiet. Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. Everyone that's had a hand in taking us down will be devoured. If they've been getting all these dainties, they've been getting all these perks, they know that they're going to have to pay for those things. So there again, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, everybody who's been going against us, okay, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So again, all they that spoil thee. So you don't think them stealing our lands, stealing our opportunities, stealing our resources, keeping them for themselves. So that's not spoiling us. Them getting free dainties from all over the world isn't spoiling us. Them taking all of our gold and shipping it all over the place, all over the world. Them all coming over here to find their American dream while we live an American nightmare. You don't think all of those are how they spoiled our people? See, that's the whole thing. You don't think it's that big. It can't be that big. And when I first came into the truth, I believed it couldn't be that big. But the more you study, the more you read, the more you interact with these people, the more you realize they all know. They've all known. And they just wanted to enjoy their blessing as long as they could. Because once that blessing is over with, which it is now, they know it's time to pay. And that's what the scriptures say. And just so you know, Jeremiah 16:19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge, in the day of affliction, and my refuge. Okay, hold on. In the day of my affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth. Who again? The Gentiles shall come unto me from the ends of the earth. That's all four corners, all over the world. And what are they going to say? Oh, we didn't know? No, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, the Gentiles shall come from all ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. They're all going to admit that they all knew, and they all ignored the Israelites in order to have a great time with our resources. But now it's all coming back to us. So go ahead and show me some verses that prove otherwise. Much love, family. Shalom.